A lone figure stands at the center of a fiery battlefield. His profile is rigid, monumental, a silhouette of determination. Before him stretches a landscape consumed by flames. On his head rests a helmet, but not an ordinary one. Crowning it is a dragon, its jaws agape, breathing fire that merges seamlessly with the hellish inferno behind him. Yet this is no depiction of hell. Here, the earth itself has become a hell. This is War, painted by Hans Thoma in 1907. From the moment it was first displayed at the Stadel Museum in Frankfurt, the painting seized attention with its sheer power and symbolic intensity. And here lies the question that haunts the viewer. How could Thoma foresee such a vision? How could an artist capture the raw terror, the unstoppable force, and the looming dread of war in a single, unforgettable image? A scene that, in less than a decade, would echo into a horrifying reality. It is 1907. Europe stands at the edge of an abyss. Nationalism is rising, armies are expanding, and political tensions simmer just beneath the surface. Britain and France compete to maintain their colonies and influence. Russia grapples with internal crises and social unrest. Austria-Hungary struggles with ethnic and political turmoil. And in Germany, national pride coexists uneasily with the fear of the consequences of these escalating rivalries. The continent is a powder keg, ready to explode. And in this charged atmosphere, only 7 years before the outbreak of what would become the First World War, Hans Thoma paints war. Hans Thoma was born in 1839 in a small village tucked within Germany's Black Forest. From an early age, he felt an intimate connection with nature and the tales of local folklore, threads that would later weave through the fabric of his artistic vision. Before his formal studies, Thoma taught himself the fundamentals of painting and drawing, immersing himself in observation and practice. In 1859, he was admitted to the Grand Ducal School of Art in Karlsruhe, a stepping stone that would anchor his lifelong pursuit of artistic mastery. By 1868, he journeyed to Paris, where the works of Gustave Courbet and the Barbizon School left an indelible mark upon him. Eventually he settled in Munich, then the artistic heart of Germany, and from his exhibition at the Munich Art Society in 1890, Thoma's reputation spread across the nation. By 1910, he was counted among Germany's most esteemed painters. In 1899, Thoma took on the role of professor at the Grand Ducal School of Art in Karlsruhe and assumed the directorship of the Kunsthalle Karlsruhe. Throughout his life, he revered the masters of the Renaissance, particularly Albrecht Dürer, and drew inspiration from contemporaries such as Arnold Böcklin and the Pre-Raphaelites. Yet Thoma's art was never confined to serene landscapes or quaint folkloric scenes. In War, his fascination with enduring human figures and symbolic storytelling comes to the forefront. His warrior stands not only as a mythic presence, but also as a meditation on the darker impulses of humanity. The painting itself is an unforgettable vision of fire and power. At its center stands a lone warrior, his expression caught between fear and fury. The silhouette of this allegorical figure is immense, almost overwhelming, yet the precise side view of his stance radiates unwavering determination. Every curve and angle suggests movement, as though the scene is alive and the events unfolding are unstoppable. Perched atop his helmet is a symbolic dragon, terrifying and magnificent. It acts both as protector and destroyer, crowning the warrior, merging myth with reality, and highlighting the dual nature of war, its formidable strength and its capacity for unrestrained destruction. Flames pour from the dragon's mouth, blending seamlessly with the fiery sky behind him. A little farther away, covered in ashes and blazing fire, soldiers on horseback charge through the inferno, while in the distance, the faint silhouettes of ruined buildings emerge like phantoms of devastation. In that moment, the figures and the inferno become one. The hellish scene evokes John Martin's Pandemonium so vividly that one can almost imagine this as a close-up profile or a medium shot of Satan himself standing in Martin's vision of hell. The two works resemble one another closely, each proclaiming the dawn and rise of diabolical power. The colours roar as loudly as the imagery. Reds and oranges dominate, radiating heat, danger, and devastation, while deep shadows reveal the remnants of battle. Shattered weapons, fallen soldiers, the silent testimony of destruction. Here, Thoma does not merely depict a single conflict. He captures the very essence of war itself, relentless, destructive, eternal. And yet a question lingers, one that has confounded viewers for over a century. Is this a condemnation of war and its devastation? Or, astonishingly, as some suggest, a painting that exalts it? In October 1914, Thoma joined the signatories of the Manifesto of the 93, defending German militarism and denying atrocities in Belgium. Later, reports in Militant League for German Culture indicated that his Karlsruhe school had become a hub for radical nationalist movements. During the Third Reich, his work was embraced by the Nazis, earning him a place on the official roster of regime painters. Several of his works, including Youth Bathing, View of Mamlisheim, and Spring in the Mountains or Children's Dance, were acquired for Adolf Hitler's planned Führer Museum in Linz, most taken from Jewish collectors through looting, seizure, or forced sale. Even as recently as 2023, researcher Marcel van Eden presented evidence that Thoma was an active anti-Semite. All of this ensures that more than a century later, the true intentions behind this painting remain shrouded in ambiguity. Yet beyond the politics, beyond the controversy, it seems Thoma's true obsession was to capture the very face of war itself. Just a year before painting war, he created Mars, a strikingly similar work, part of a series known as The Planets: Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, and finally Mars. The design and essence of war seem to spring directly from this earlier vision. If we trace back to the earliest version of Mars, painted in 1903, the resemblance is undeniable. So strong is it that one can even see echoes of it in Thoma's lithographs. This reveals that, years before 1907, he had been pursuing a way to depict the face of war itself. War stands as perhaps the darkest painting Thoma ever made. Its shadows stretch from a deeply personal tragedy, the death of his wife in 1901, a grief that cast him into years of depression and shrouded his life in shadow. And now, more than a century later, it confronts us with a question that resonates across time. What does it mean to stand at the very heart of devastation? The warrior, immovable amid the Inferno, becomes a mirror to the viewer, a reflection of fear, anxiety, and the storm of history itself. A storm that then swept across Europe and, in some echoes, still looms today. This painting's one of my personal favourites. Making this video has been a journey into the fire of Thoma's imagination. If it moved you, please like, leave a comment, and share your thoughts. Thank you for staying with me until the end, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.